Yo, thank you for tuning in to Rappers Playing Games, aka RPG. Today's guest is Cort Sikes. He is an MC. He is a longtime supporter of the Austin scene. He's been repping for Austin since 2008. I've known him since 2012. And he's your #1 fan out there, ATX Hip Hop. Today we're going to be playing Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo.
Perfect. 100 cc, jumping right in, both feet.
Back to bows.
That's ballsy, man. Like I've known a lot of people. I've played with a lot of people, and not many people play with Bowser.
Is Bowser just shittier?
He's got the highest top speed, but his acceleration is garbage.
It's because he's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Daddy Bowser.
That's right.
So I met you.
Yes.
Back in AMX.
Right, back in the day.
And you've been...
so when did you start AMX? Let's start there.
Okay, 2012.
Alright, so you started at AMX 2012. I moved to Austin in 2006.
Okay.
So 2006, I lived on the East Coast for a long time. I went to a lot of hip-hop events over there. I even went to my first love out there was Battle League. And I guess, watching 8 Mile and all that stuff really launched me into this attitude that I can do this. And like, if that's the best that they can do, I know I can top that.
Right.
And so I kind of started with that. And when I first moved out here, by job profession, I'm a building engineer, right? So I take care of commercial properties. Anything that goes wrong with the building, plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, I fix for commercial properties.
Okay.
So, long story short, my dad had some tickets to the UT baseball game, and he couldn't go. He was out of town for something, and so I was looking for somebody to go to the UT baseball game with me, and the guy who I bought my light bulbs from for the building, his name is Ryan Joseph, and he owns 5th Street Studios.
Oh, dang.
And I did not know that. Like, I did not know him. I was just as a happenstance. So we're going to the baseball game, and I'm listening to some stuff, and I'm listening to some Mr. Oizo.
Nice.
Mr. Oizo flat beat.
Remember that puppet video.
Yeah. And I'm freestyling over it, just
nice.
bullshit. And he's like, dude, I didn't know you could rap. And I was like, yeah, I can rap. And he's like, well, I own a studio, right? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? So we go to the UT baseball game, and after the game, he brings me to his studio, and he puts me in the booth. And he's like, look, anytime you want to use this, you let me know. I'll hook you up, half price, no matter what. You keep buying bulbs from me, and you got studio time.
That's awesome.
So I get super stoked. That lights a fire under me like I've never had before. I feel like I've got this opportunity that I could actually do this. And so I started writing a few things, and then I was working at Apple Computers, and I met Ty Wynn, aka Crooked T Productions, and he did...
he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, does stand-up comedy, but at the time, he was Crooked T Productions, and he was making beats.
Nice.
So, he introduced me to his friend Jay Michael, and some of the guys from the Poison Boys, and he was doing some beats for them. So I started going to their events, and from their events, I did some networking, started talking to them, and then I got into TBL, and TBL is Texas Battle League.
Texas Battle League.
Oh my God, dude!
Did you do TBL?
I did. I was at a lot of events. I mean, from like early stuff back in probably 2009, 2008.
That's about when I first moved here, and they were one of the first things that I saw.
God. So TBL started with Dub Six and Japanese Jesus, aka Michael Fujiwara, I think.
Michael Fujiwara.
Yeah, aka Japanese Jesus, and actually they had a third-party guy who they didn't want to mention, and I didn't know about it until I was talking about him the other day, and it's Clements.
Oh, really?
Clements was helping them, but didn't want to be known because he didn't want to battle anybody.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Funny. Yeah. So Clements has all these podcasts now, and I'm seeing him, and he's interviewing all these people. I'm like, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, Clements rules, man. I love that dude. Shout out Clements.
Yeah, shout out Clements, definitely. So anyway, I fell in love with hip hop in Austin with TBL. Oh my God,
Nice,
watching
dude.
Dub Six.
Mad shout outs to TVL.
Yeah, Dub Six and Cort, and it was bringing the entire state together. You guys had guys from way south. You had guys from San Antonio. Oh, fucking burnout. San Antonio, Houston, guys all the way down from the border coming up for it, and it was just everybody showing mad love for each other. And you know, it was the ambiance of everything too, where initially, you know, I thought that these guys were, when I thought of battling, I thought it was all freestyle, and I thought it was all off the top of your head, no writtens, no nothing. So when I first went into it and I heard these guys battling, I was like, oh my God, these guys are amazing.
Right.
And then finally, it's kind of like watching wrestling as a kid and then finding out the business of it, that it's, oh, these guys actually sit down and figure out what they're going to say, and they have timed minute rounds to go back and forth, and they will freestyle some stuff. Like if somebody says something about your hair or something, you can make a rebuttal off that hair and throw it back in their face, and that gets in a bigger pop, which gets you more love with the crowd, which ultimately is who decides whether you win or lose a battle.
Whether you go for it or not. Yeah, it's funny because I have very much a similar, like growing up in Iowa, not surrounded by a whole lot of hip hop culture. I don't want to say that there wasn't any, because we were a tour stop for everything that came out of Minneapolis.
Oh, you motherfucker.
So like,
I see you. Oh.
Who are you going after?
Huh?
Oh, you're.
I thought you were coming after me.
Oh no, I was, but one thing I really admire about you is that you clearly like go out of your way to keep up with what's going on in your community for the art that you like.
Oh, for sure.
So like you, who are some acts, people, acts, whatever, that you're like really into right now?
Like right now?
Specifically Central Texas.
Okay, right now, so there's been a bunch of new stuff come out that I'm really impressed with. First and foremost, Crew 54.
God, I love them.
God, and what's funny is I was watching them forever, and I never realized Scientific. I worked with Scientific.
Really?
Yeah, I worked with Scientific for a year and a half, and like when they released this new Slaps album, they had a picture of him, and he's like sitting there, and I was like, yo, is that Quincy? And I just never saw him at a Crew 54 show. So anyway, Slaps Raps is absolutely a banger all the way through.
Yeah, that's a great album.
It's kind of short, but I mean that seems to be the genre that everybody's going to right now is you know 5 or 6 tracks. Like the new Yeezy came out and it was like 5 or 6 tracks. I'm like, what happened to the days of putting out 12? Maybe like a skit or something in it.
I mean, I remember that growing up on albums that were like 23 tracks long with 9 skits.
Right.
I personally, I think that's influenced by the internet. I think the age of the EP is definitely dawning again.
Right.
Look at me, just like, I'm on my way, guys.
It's oh snap! I love it with the red shell.
Let's do another 100cc class.
Sure.
I'm gonna get another.
You want to see if you're bad enough to do the special cut? I saw you don't have it on here.
Oh yeah. I know.
See if I can do it. I haven't played Special Cup in a while.
Let's do it. Let's get it going.
So, anyway, to go forward with that, I mean, there's Ben Buck just released some new stuff, and it is awesome.
Ben Buck is so talented.
Do you know what's so crazy about that? And I have you to thank for it. Is AMX, and that's when I saw Ben Buck for the first time, and he wasn't even 18 years old yet.
No, he was 16, I think, when he first came.
And I was like, this kid, who the fuck is this kid? And then he gets up on stage and beatboxes like a grown-ass man.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, holy shit. And there was, I think I've had 4 or 5 oh shit moments from AMX. He was one. The first time I met Farrell.
Yeah, dude, Farrell rules.
Farrell, I think it was his first day.
Farrell's the first guest on this show.
Yeah, Farrell was the first. I remember it was his first show, and I was in line in front of him, and he was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be my first time ever rapping out here. I'm from Houston. I don't know anybody." I was like, "Yo, dude, you can get in front of me and like, let's just go." And so he's like, and he was real nervous, and he's like this little skater-looking kid, and I'm like, "There's no way that this guy is gonna be." And then he just rocked it.
Yeah, dude.
And ever since then, I'm a total fan. Farrell, you know me. I've been to most of your shows that I can out here. He is just blows me away with his talent and his ability to write, and And moving
so
forward with
committed
it,
to his
like,
craft,
it's not fake either. He's not doing it to like impress somebody or be cool. It's just something that he needs to do as a person.
That's very true. It's not like I feel like many people see, you know, especially hip hop, ironically, because it's very hard. The music industry is a very hard industry. I think a lot of people, ironically and counterintuitively, see it as like, this is how they're gonna secure their future, you know, this is how they're gonna get rich.
Not gonna
Pharrell is one of those people who it's obvious that this dude is just doing it because it's who he is.
Yeah.
He can't not do it.
Right. Totally agree.
No such thing as not being a rapper for Pharrell. It's not like it wasn't a career choice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This Special Cup is kicking my ass.
Yeah, it's hard. This is probably one of the courses I hate the most.
This is like, yeah, the hamsters didn't even get me, but I drove underwater for a while and I was like, where's my little fisher pole guy?
Yeah, Latuki or whatever his name is.
Latuki.
And then I'm trying to think of the kid's name. He's a skinny kid, but he's really super nerdy looking. And then when he starts rapping, he just blows you away.
Remember William Brewer?
Yes.
Remember Willing?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. He was like in some higher learning programs, like advanced well beyond his age. Like that kid's a certifiable genius.
Yeah, for sure.
And his
like
rhythm
that's
is
what
so interesting.
blew me away is just his wordplay and his word count per rap is undeniable.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like he went out to I think Wisconsin for a while to like rap with Milo. He's definitely got that like that bus driver like sort of feeling of that like experimenting with cadence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I've always said about Austin is that if I'm naming like my top 5 MCs in Austin, which I won't do because I don't want to disappoint anyone.
Yeah, get people's butt hurt.
But it's not even if I were to make a top 5, just favorite people I've watched rap in this town.
Right.
Or from here. My list covers like almost every subgenre of rap.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people doing the big bangers, there's people doing party music, there's people doing trap, there's people doing this weird experimental cadence art rap, nerdcore, really backpacker struggle rap stuff, really, you know, battle-y stuff, whatever it is. Like that's something I've tried to always explain to people who don't maybe are coming into Austin hip hop and are new to it, is that this city doesn't really have a defined sound, but that's
of course
what
not.
the strong thing about it is. That having a defined sound can limit you, because then you might end up with just people chasing fads and clout.
Right.
One of the things I've always loved about this city is that there really is a home for whatever kind of music you want to be making.
I totally agree. And I've seen people change too. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Guys who first came into AMX and they were rapping a certain way, and then they came to out of their niche, and then you could tell that's what they grew up on. And they're like, you know what? I don't like this. I don't want to do this.
And I think that there's that is one of the things that I wanted AMX to do, but want for every artist, is you got to find your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay if what you start off with isn't the voice that is yours. Like, you need to find your way to get your foot in the door and figure it out. You need the space to figure it out. Because that's how being in the studio, doing a bunch of songs you don't like, doing shows. Right. That's how you're gonna figure out who you're supposed to be.
Right. What you're comfortable with.
Right. What would you just? I mean, like, are you trying to still make rap music? Are you still working on stuff? I know it's been a while.
I'm sure I could if I wanted to. It's just I haven't really found the time for it. I get more enjoyment out of watching others rap and see them grow. Like seeing Ben Butt grow, seeing Pharrell grow, seeing everybody come out of their shell and come into who they are now and move forward with it. And that's what I like. I just like the scene not to die and to keep moving forward and still see like the League of Extraordinary G's. Shout out to the League.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Shout out.
Those
League.
guys are fucking amazing, and it's. I like the fact that Jay and them, like I can go to their show and they recognize me and they're like, hey, I remember you back in the day supporting blah blah blah, and it's kind of like a family ordeal for me.
Yeah.
And as an only child, I don't really have that much family stuff to lean on.
Same, dude.
So it's kind of like a family thing. It's just like I don't have brothers and sisters, so these are kind of like my brothers and sisters that I've made up. So I think that's a big part of it too.
I love that. I mean, the family that you find is the one that's gonna be with you, you know? Like,
Right. Oh, jeez.
well, just like you enjoy sitting back and watching people kill it at the rap game, I have enjoyed sitting back and watching you kill it at Mario Kart.
Hey! That wasn't even that good. I'm sad that we didn't unlock your 150.
Oh, you know what? It's quite alright. I clearly need to take some quality time alone with this game, you know, take it out to dinner, go to an Airbnb for the weekend.
That's right.
I don't think this game is fully... I don't think I have a real, you know, organic connection with it right now.
This game used to be the truth for me growing up, man. Like, being a military kid, we would go to other people's houses and we'd have battle royals where we would just play Mario Kart and battle it out. And when N64 came out, you know, 4 players made it even more than much fun. So
yeah, dude. Well, man, thanks for coming out and hanging out with me,
man,
dude.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's good seeing you again.
Yeah, you too. You know I'll be around.
Yeah.
So.
You got any final words?
Final words. Keep rapping, Austin. Keep it together. I mean, keep pushing and don't make music for money. Make it for fun.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
Cut.
I'm so sick of being nice and just kissing people's ass. Of being stepped on, stood up and looked right past. For so many years I tried to be good and do the right thing. I wanted to be married to a great wife and diamond ring. Mimic romantic comedies treated with dinner and flowers. Stay up late night watching TV, talking sweet for hours. Opening doors, pull out chairs and pay all the tabs. Only for the next morning to be treated like ass.